Hi everyone, today I am going to teach you about solving the modulus equation. So what is the modulus equation? It is a very interesting topic of class 11. This topic is not mainly have a chapter as the name as the chapter, but it used in all the chapters like the trigonometric function, relation in function, and even in the a straight line and the limits derivative. So it has a use. A lot of use in the mathematics of class 11. So what do you mean by the mod? Mainly you have listened, if you insert any number in the mod, then you will get the positive value. But this is the good thing that you know a basic thing, but I am going to explain you about the modulus equation and how to solve this. You are going to reach at a level that you could solve the question of the JEE mains, and today I am going to make you to reach that level. So start the for this I am just asking you a simple question. This one is the minus 1. Is this positive or this negative? So mainly and all you will say that this is the negative, but you are wrong here because you don't know the value of the x. Let's suppose if I make the value of the x is the minus 2, then it will become the positive 2, and if I will let the value of the x as a 2, then it becomes the minus 2. So you cannot determine whether it is the positive or the negative when you don't know the value of the x. When you know the value of then you could determine is this positive or negative, but before this you cannot determine it. So these are the basic things that we use in solving the modulus equation. So for this I am going to conclude that, as you know that basic thing, if anything inserted into the mod, then it will give you a positive value. Let's suppose this is the symbol of the mod. If I inserted here the 5, then we get the 5. If I inserted the minus in the mod 5, then also you will get the 5. You know this thing and you have listened. Mod gives the only the positive value, but you don't know how this is giving. If let's suppose another question, if I inserted here the minus 1 in the mod, then you get the 1. If I inserted here the plus 1, then you again get the 1. But how this giving this value? So I am going to tell you or explain about this, how the values give by the mod. So for this, let's suppose for this you know that what is the meaning of function. So you have to understand the meaning of function. Meaning of function. So function, let's suppose a washing machine. In the washing machine, when you insert or get some clothes, then it is used to make them very clean, and then you get. So the function of the washing machine is to cleaning the cloth. If you get something in the washing machine, then you will get the clean cloth. Like this, when you insert something in the mod, then its function is to give you a positive value. So let's suppose you inserted here. So let's suppose you inserted here the 5. The y is equal to minus 5 mod. So what will be the answer? What will be the answer? Which is equal to the 5. So that means here you will get the value of the mod 5 is equal to 5. So in this way, if you have the two ways to open the mod. One is the y is equal to x plus 1 if the x is greater than 0, and y is equal to mod x is equal to minus x if the x is greater than 0. So here you are getting that here you are let's suppose this one like this, y is equal to x mod is equal to x if the x is greater than 0 and the equal to the 0, and y is equal to mod x if the x minus mod x if the x is greater than 0. So these are the two ways to open the mod. So how would you open the mod? Because as you know that minus mod 5 is equal to 5. But how we get this 5? So this I am going to teach you. So let's suppose a mod. The value of x here is the minus. If the value of x here, you don't know the value of x. So if the value of x is equal to 0 or the greater than 0, then it opens as the x. And if the value of x is greater than, if the value of x is the less than 0, then it will open as the minus x. Let's suppose example, this is the 5. So in this case the 5 is a greater than 0, so that means this case arises here. Here the 5 is a greater than 0, so what will be the answer? So this is as the x, then we will get the value as the x, so we get x here, the again the 5. So as you able to get that the mod 5 is equal to 5. If let's suppose minus 5, mod minus 5, so as you get the second case here to find how to open the mod, as the value of the, let's suppose this one is the x, so as you get that the x is less than 0, so in the second case you have to open by the second case this modulus. So if the x is less than 0, then you have to write the x minus x. So here x is equal to minus 5 and x is equal to minus 5, then again you get the value 5. So even though these are the x and minuses, in the both the cases you get the value in the positive way. That means this shows that whatever the value you will insert into the mod, you will get the final result in the positive way. So if I will take a question like, if I inserted here the minus 5, then you will get the 5. Okay, this is how you will open. So as you get that, if I will written here the mod x, then it will open as the plus minus x, because it could be a plus also in the case of if the x is greater than 0 or equal to 0, and it could be open as the minus x if the x is less than 0, so it could be opened in both ways. So mod x could be written as the plus minus x, and even though after solving this will be a positive, as you get from this example I solved now. So in this case, if I will make you solve this question right here, so if I am going to solve the, what will be the value of x, when you open this you will get the 5 as an answer. So you could write here, as you get the way of opening the mod, each x is equal to plus minus x. So here you could also write the x is equal to plus minus 5. So what will be the answer? Plus minus 5. That means if you will insert the plus 5 or minus 5, and the both in both the cases you will get the 5. Let's suppose the x is equal to 5, again you will get the 5, and if x is equal to minus 5, then also you will get the answer as the 5. So the x could be anything, plus minus 5. So I think you understand this. And solve the another question like this. If x is equal to minus 2 is equal to 3, so when you will open this mod or when you will remove this mod, then you will get x minus 2 is equal to plus minus 3. And we get the two ways to solve this equation. One is the x minus 2 is equal to plus 3, and another is the x minus 2 is equal to minus 3. Solving this you will get here the 5, and in this case you will get here the x is equal to minus 3 plus 2 and x is equal to minus 1. So in this case you able to get that x, if you will put the value of x as the 5 or minus 1, then you will get the answer 3. Just try this putting. If you will put here the x is equal to 5, then 5 minus 2 will be 3, and mod 3 also is equal to 3. And if you will put the here the x is equal to minus 1, so minus 1 plus minus 2 become the minus 3, and minus 3 also is equal, mod minus 3 is also equal to 3. So I think you get to know the way of opening the mod. So I think you get it. And the next very interesting question I am going to solve. So let's suppose if we have the x here, so it could be open. If I will remove the mod, then you could write written as the plus minus x, because the mod is open in both the manner. It will the plus when the value of the x is less than 0, and it could be a minus when the value of x is the equal to and greater than 0. So let's suppose a very interesting question which asked in the JEE examination. Yes, it is a very considered to be a difficult examination, but get what easy question we have with us. Which one is the mod, and again mod, and mod is equal to x plus 3 mod minus 5 mod minus 1 is equal to 7. Before solving this, I am going to talk about a very interesting question. Let's suppose we have the value here, the x, and we get here the minus 7. So what will be the solution? What should be the value of x? Then we will get the minus 7. So as you know that anything if you write in the mod, then you will get the positive value. But there is no value of x which you could keep and get the, as you know that mod always gives the positive value. So there is no value of x for which you will get the negative value. This means no solution. No solution. The answer of this question will be no solution. That means we haven't any value of x that will give the minus 7 in the mod. So this will be a no solution, and let's solve this question, a very interesting question. That is this. So for this, as you know that removing the mod, when you remove the mod, then you used to write the plus minus x. So using this concept, if you will remove this mod, so we get the this mod is equal to x plus 3 mod minus 5 mod, and if we removed this mod, this 2 mod we removed outer mod, then you will minus 1 is equal to plus minus 7. You get this. So right here the x is equal to plus 3 mod minus 5 mod minus 1 is equal to plus 7, and the another you could write here the mod x plus 3 mod minus 5 mod minus 1 is equal to minus 7. One is can be written as the plus 7, one is the minus 7. So as you know that, so here if you will, this is not into the mod, this is not into the mod, so this could be sent to this side and it become the minus 6. So this becomes the minus 6. As you know that anything if you keep in the mod, then it will give the positive value, but here we are getting the negative value, so this cannot be a possible. So remove this case and solve only this, because this is not possible. Anything if you keep in the mod, then you will get the positive value, but here we are getting the negative value, so this case is not possible. And solving this, so we get here the mod is equal to mod plus 3 mod minus 5 mod is equal to 8, because if you this is not in the mod, and if you get this side, then it become the plus 1 and it become the 8. And removing this 2 mod, so we get the x plus 3 is equal to minus 5 plus minus 8. When you remove the mod, you will get the plus minus sign. So again the x plus 3 mod is equal to minus 5 is equal to plus 8. We get the 2 cases here, and one case another is the plus 3 mod minus 5 is equal to minus 8. And if you will solve this further, plus 3 is this one is become the, if you this is not in the mod, then it will go this side, then it become the minus 8 plus 5, so it becomes actually the minus 3. And anything upon the mod cannot give the minus value, so this is not possible. So remove this case and solve only this. So we get here the x plus 3 mod can be written as the 13. So in this case, when you will remove this mod, then when you will remove this mod, then again you will get the x plus 3 is equal to plus minus 13, and written as the x plus 3 is equal to plus 13. And another case which you will get the x plus 3 is equal to minus 13. And solving these two cases, again your misunderstanding can lead that this is not possible, but here you see, is there any mod? There is no any mod, so this is the possible case. In these cases you are getting that here we have the mod, and mod cannot give the negative value. This is why this is not possible and not possible. But here we haven't any type of mod, so you will get here the x is equal to minus 16, and in this case you will get the x is equal to plus 10. So what will be the value of x? So the value of x will be this minus 16 and plus 10. So if you will keep here the plus 10 and the minus 16, the final answer you will get the 7. And this is the question of the J examination, which is considered a very hard examination. But as you able to get that how easy this is, and only in the mathematics you could solve the harder and harder question only when you have concept to be very rigid. And thank you for today.